Good afternoon, Douglas.
Hi, good afternoon, Martin.
That's brilliant.
Nice to
Thank you for joining me today.
for having
Talk
me, as I say on
badminton.
television. Yeah,
Have you been watching the videos?
I have. Yeah,
Good.
I've seen four of them so far. Is that it?
Yeah, it's been so far. I've got another two after yourself today, and I'm
Uh,
interviewing a Malaysian former player who is called Samuel Nesan tomorrow evening at 7 o'clock. He's a Malaysian player, and
Right.
he was a former player. I think he was a former international. Robert Bod Hutchison recommended him to me, so he agreed to have a meeting. So at 7 o'clock tomorrow night, I'm doing him. It'll be interesting to go around the world, and I've got Aslan, a friend. I don't know if you know Aslan. He's talking later on about he's from Northern Ireland.
Yeah,
He's from Portrush, so that'll be interesting. Have
and
a chat
I've
about
done well.
different
Coach,
opinions
coach,
around the
quite.
world. Yeah. So
Yeah.
let's jump right into it with my questions, if that's all right. If I could take your full name, please.
It's Douglas William Walker.
William.
William.
Good.
Yeah.
Any relevance to that?
Well, funnily enough, the William is a family name going down my mother's side.
Really?
Douglas came from nowhere, except perhaps the capital of the Isle of Man, where we had a holiday.
Really?
Yeah.
That's why
I've got two brothers called
That's why
Kenneth
you
and
used to
Tom.
go on holiday to the Isle of Man, and there's a.
She was over there. She went there with a cousin just before the war. Don't ask which war. And
No, I don't need to.
or she was married even.
So, can I take your age?
I'm 77.
50, 67.
77.
77. Wow.
77.
You've had a very easy paper round, I reckon.
Hmm?
And your home area, where are you from originally?
Edinburgh, Leith, I could say. But
Leith?
Edinburgh, basically. Though I've lived in Pennycook now for 50 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I'm still 2/3 of my life at Pennycook, Midlothian. But the first half, and all my employment really has been in Edinburgh.
Right.
Pennycook, as you know, it's a
And have you
suburb.
lived in? Did you say you grew up in Leith, though?
Yes.
Up to what age, Douglas?
Up to 26 when I got married.
Oh, really? And is that when you moved to Pennycook from 26?
Yep. Yeah.
How did you end up going from the dark side, the central Edinburgh of Leith, to Pennycook?
Well,
So what year was? So what? Sorry, what year was that you moved then? 26.
70. The
70.
one reason was that the rates were cheaper in Pennycook,
Yeah.
Midlothian. Another reason was I was teaching on the south side of Edinburgh at Firhill High
Oh,
School.
really?
So that was just a 15-minute drive in instead of having to fight my way through traffic.
You must have seen a lot of change. There's so much change in Swanston. Driving that road,
Yeah.
driving from Pennycook to Firhill must have been a different animal altogether, right?
There's no bother in those days.
Was
They hadn't
it?
even built the bypass.
Yeah, I was going to say it's a busy place now, and a lot of the properties are built around the 80s, aren't they? So you can imagine it must have been just fields and things, was it?
Right. That's right.
Wow. And
That's
when did you first play badminton?
When did I first play badminton? There was a church called Bonington Church. Now
Right.
you played for Northleith and Bonington. Northleith and Bonington both combined.
Right.
I was a Bonington half. I lived 3 doors down from the church hall,
Really?
and the church hall put on a junior badminton session. I was about the age of 14,
Really?
and it was run by the church officer who played badminton in the adult club. And a few kids, my older brother and some of his friends we did a lot of sports together, kind of thing, playing in the park, football, putting, tennis, all everything, cricket in the street. And they took up badminton, and we found A, that there were some quite nice girls there, and two, B, that we enjoyed the game. It was a social thing, Saturday night, and we went from there. We joined the adult club after a few years, and
So what
took it over.
did you say that was called Bonington Church, did you say?
Bonington Church, yeah.
Was it? And is that still there?
No, it is. It was demolished.
Or was it? Must have some history of that church. Must have some history there. I'm just doing a wee Google search while I'm talking to you to see if it still exists. See if I can find images on Google. Have you ever looked?
Does not exist. It was knocked down in the 70s.
Bonington Parish Church, is it? No.
Summerside Street.
Where was it, Douglas?
Summerside Street, which is It's kind of
You're right.
marginal New Haven Trinity.
You're right. I'm not finding very much. Trinity area, was it? All right. Okay. Yeah. No, I can't.
On the
I'm not seeing very much at all. And what was that hall like?
Oh, God, it was
Was
quite
it
nice.
one of
Lots
those
of height.
low or?
Murder, there was a piano that you broke your rackets on. We used that against opponents. There was a back wall that the porch came in, and if you played singles, you tried to make the shuttle come right down the back wall so they could only do drop shots. Local advantage, you know.
It's
Honestly,
incredible, isn't it? I grew up in a place like that, and you grew up in a place where you kind of having to muddle around the hall, and you try and get the shuttle in the back left hand corner because you knew there's a radiator that makes it became part of the game. It's so much easier now. Big wide open, big hall, big height. You know.
I've seen the one with the back line 2 feet up the back wall.
Yeah. So okay, and do you have any brothers or sisters?
I have two brothers. Yeah, I say one was older, Kenneth. He played a lot of badminton, a lot of sport, and my younger one, Donald. He wasn't quite so sporty. He was a bit younger, just a wee bit younger than the rest of us. He was 3.5 years of bit. But yeah, they all played though.
And what's the age difference between yourself and Kenneth?
2.5 years.
2.5 years. So he's what is he? So he's 79.
Uh-huh.
Is he still
Yeah.
around?
Yeah.
Good. And does he still have? When did he lose an interest in badminton, or did he, or does he still, or what?
He played for quite some time. He played tennis as well, but
Is he still in Leith as well?
No, he lives out in Cramond now.
Well, Cramond.
He's a golfer, basically. That's what he does now. He's a golfer. He's a very keen golfer. His son's a professional golfer.
Is he?
Yes. So it's I
That's
denied.
That's your nephew.
He was Kenny Walker. He was a famous young golfer.
Was he?
Kenny. Scottish schools champion, Scottish amateur champion, Scottish boys champion.
Wow. And his
Friend of Paul Laureate.
Is that your? Are you talking about your nephew or your brother?
My nephew.
Your nephew.
One's called Kenneth, the other's called Kenny.
Is that wow? There you are. Fantastic. That's good. That's amazing. So good. So what age were you when you first played?
About 14, I reckon. About 14.
And that was at the Bonington Church.
Yes, that's right.
And do you know anyone now that played back then in Bonington Church?
I'm not in touch with anyone, so I don't know. I don't know if there are any about.
When you were that age and you were going to the badminton, how often did you go?
It was Saturday night, first of all, just Saturday evenings.
Saturday night, really? Wow. Like what time? Like 5 o'clock or like 7?
I think it was 7:30, something like that.
So 2 hours? 2 hours?
A couple of hours, yeah.
Fantastic. And was there many went?
Oh, there was a fair few. I mean, I don't think I would see about 8 to 10 maybe. One single court, of course, and it was quite comfortable. And I say that
Were they all similar age to yourself as well? Or were you very young? Or was it a grown-up club? Or?
This was about teenage club. Just a junior club, teenagers only. And funnily enough, I was saying the guy who ran it just called Jack Shackleton. He was a Yorkshireman who actually was the church officer. He lived next door to the church, and his daughter was playing. So I married her.
You married her?
My wife, yes.
Oh, I see. No way, is that right? And she was from Bonington Church? Sorry, you're coming and going. You still there?
Oh, yeah.
And she was at Bonington Church? Is that where you met her? I'm losing you.
Uh-huh.
I'm losing you. I don't know if you're losing Wi-Fi. Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me?
You lose me.
Can you hear me?
If you
Sorry, I'm losing.
Just keep talking.
Oh yes, I keep on talking. Yeah, I'm losing you I lost you for a minute there. I think you've lost connection a bit.
Yeah.
You still there?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're looking good.
No, that's good. So you married that. She worked at Bonington Church, and you ended up marrying her. Did you say?
Yeah.
Wow. So how long ago was that?
Yes, that's right. A bit later, certainly. Now, what
I keep on losing you, Douglas.
two churches, when Bonington Church was closed, it
Right.
became Northleith and Bonington. Northleith
Right.
already had a badminton club, and
I
we had a badminton
see.
club, so we didn't combine.
I see.
At the time, Bonington Club belonged to Leith Community Centre,
Right.
and then so we set up a club called Bonington. And Leith, I believe it's still there.
Wow. And where did Northleith play? Where was that?
1970s.
Where was Northleith playing?
Northleith played in the church round, not far around the corner.
Right.
It was somewhere just.
So it was like an amalgamation of clubs, was it? Like two clubs coming together?
I don't know if it's still there. The churches league.
Yes, I knew that. Yeah.
The churches amalgamated, but the clubs were rivals, so they chose not to. Northleith Hall was just around the Corside Place, I remember.
I'll keep on losing you, I think, so it's all right. When did you first start playing? Would you remember? Do you remember your first ever racket?
The school club, when I was allowed to, in S4, we were allowed to.
You're allowed to. I keep on losing connection.
My first decent racket.
Oh, what is that? What is it? You've still got it. Oh, that's the picture you posted online. Is that the racket that you posted online?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
What kind of racket is it, Nicholas? Hello?
What?
What kind of racket is it?
Yeah. Silver grey. Wong Peng Soon model. That's the extra 50, an extra 10 bob for that Wong Peng Soon signature.
When did you get that? Do you remember?
In late 1960s. It's about 60 years old.
Do you remember where you bought it?
I think it was probably RW Forsyth in Princess Street.
Really? Wow.
£6.50. £6.50. £6, 10 bob. £6, 10 bob.
£6, 10 bob. Brilliant. What was the name of your first club? We've covered that. What was the name of the hall? What was the hall like? Do you remember how much did you pay to go to the club? Do you remember?
Well, get something here. Look at this. What I've got here.
Can't see you.
Right, it's down there. Maybe see it on the other thing. 1960. My cash book at the time. Badminton club, £6.
£6, brilliant. Love that.
£6. That's 2.5 modern. Okay.
That's brilliant.
Badminton match, 2 bob. That's
Was
10
it?
pence.
10 pence for that. Wow.
And here's another. Monday, 10th December 1965. Silver grey restring, £1, 15 shillings.
Wow, a restring. And what kind of string was it?
Gut, of course.
Gut, of course it was. Yeah, nice.
Yes.
I like that.
And I said on the online that gut disintegrated last. And I tried restringing the racket last night. Sadly, the racket is cracked as well.
Oh, is it? I was going to say it's never going to happen, is it?
Museum piece.
So, did you ever stop playing, Douglas, or did you from back when you first started, back at that time?
Only at night time.
No, but did you ever have years off, or did every single year have you played badminton? Do you think?
Stopped for the summer.
No.
Right? Those days, tennis and the badminton. So it was every summer we stopped, took up again in September, and I played a few nights a week, different clubs.
But in the 63 years, did you ever have a year off playing badminton?
Oh, no, that was my bad. That was my bad. No.
Wow, you must be an amazing player. I've never seen you play. You must be brilliant.
I have to ask someone who played me, but I was after years of coaching and practice play, I got to be quite a decent player. But
I'm sure.
That's the way now.
Yeah, it's amazing. I'm going to go back to the questions. Do you remember the shuttles you used?
Right. Wait for this.
Go on. I can't see your video at the moment, by the way.
Actually, well, maybe it's on the other video, but it's the Carlton nylon shuttle. With
Carlton nylon. Well, like Mavis 3, it was before that, obviously.
These are the ones that we used to use, and actually they were more modern ones. They were the ones we used for schools competitions.
Douglas, do you want to check your video settings? Because I can't see your video now.
That's interesting. I see myself in the corner here. So
Can
I don't
you?
know what.
You can't. I can't. I can't see you. It must be a single. No matter. I can still hear you fine. That's absolutely fine. And
Well,
okay, so from 14, do you remember when you first started at 14? Do you remember ever getting coaching? Where did you go? Where did you learn to play?
yeah, Jack Shackleton was the guy who gave us the tips to start. It wasn't formal coaching, but
Yeah,
showed us how to hold the racket, where to stand, how to
forehand
basic
grip, backhand grip. Yeah,
that kind of thing. Yeah, and then thereafter it was a matter of play, watch, learn, think about it, and I learned most of my game actually in going to coaching conferences later in my years. I learned how to coach myself, if you like to put it that way.
yeah. Bob Ubler was saying a similar thing yesterday, wasn't he, about coaching? About
Uh,
how, he just decided that he was going to be a better coach probably than ever be a player and just took to coaching and developing younger players, which is brilliant, isn't it? Very selfless. Very selfless. I'm a bit too selfish for that. I always think, even now, I think I can get better, even though I can't, even though I'm not getting any better.
well,
I still feel like I can.
I got better by coaching because
Did you?
I was interacting with a lot of players, and
Yeah.
in doing that, I thought about what I was doing myself. So that's
Yes.
why I've been, in a sense, coaching myself.
Yeah,
And
it's interesting.
yeah, so
Where did you go for your coaching when I'm trying not to go off the courses. So that did you say it was Jack Shepherd was his name?
yeah, it
Okay, good.
was not
Um,
a coach.
so and then when did you take to coaching?
Right, in this club there was a younger guy than me. He was called David Ray,
Hmm.
and I played quite a lot with him, and helped him with his singles,
Hmm.
and he became the East of Scotland junior champion.
Wow,
So I was going to say that was my first coaching, if you like, at
wow,
that time. But then when I became a school teacher, I turned up at Tynecastle High School.
yeah.
I went along to the staff badminton club, and they say, "Gosh, you're a badminton player. You better take over the badminton club." So by Christmas, just after Christmas that first year, I was running the badminton club there, and that was the time when Scottish Edinburgh schools started playing badminton. I was involved with a guy called Harry Lookers, who's very famous in
What
Bath.
year are we talking now, Douglas?
1968.
Right.
Uh,
Well,
That's 68, and that's when Edinburgh schools badminton leagues started.
was it?
Yeah, so that was when I really got down to coaching and doing
When did you
coaching.
take your first? Sorry, was that the school that you took it? What was it called?
Tynecastle,
Tynecastle School. All right. Okay.
just at the back of the football ground.
Yeah. Right. Well. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And what age were you teaching? Were they teenage kind of
But, yeah, up to 13 to 18.
13 days? And what age were you then?
I was 21 when I started teaching.
20. That's good. Yeah, fabulous.
Yeah,
And
and
it's always interesting to know if when you're coaching, do you coach different? Is there different people that are good at? I guess there are different people that are good at teaching different pursuits. So is there somebody that coaches doubles and then somebody that coaches singles and so on? Did you obviously taught?
yeah.
Did it work like that? I mean, obviously at
But
beginners it's different, but when somebody gets to a senior level, how do you say no? We need a coach that's good at singles, and that you need one that's good at doubles or mixed.
I think people find their own avenue. You start a good beginner coach, for example. You just want to take the people through the early stages,
Yes.
and you want to become a development coach, and you want to try to make players get better. And you become a competitive coach, and
Yeah.
you go to tournaments, and some people prefer one thing, while some people prefer another, and then they develop their own thing. Ex
Yeah.
players, ex international players are often very good match coaches, obviously.
Yes.
And again, whatever they were good at, doubles or singles, is what they're best at coaching.
Yes, that's right. Well, interesting. That's what Bob was talking about yesterday. He's obviously very interested in teaching grassroots. Getting people into the sport and really thinking, this guy's got an opportunity to get a lot better. So we should move it on to somebody else and know somebody else that's better suited to. I guess. I mean, I don't know if you get doubles or mixed players that actually coach together. If somebody's been successful as a couple, do couples like that don't no longer compete? Do they go and coach together? Do you ever get doubles partners or mixed partners that coach
Some of them
together?
were things talked about. Paul and Sue Whitnell. Do you remember
Oh,
them?
really? Yeah,
A couple who were both great badminton players. They did Inverclyde coaching one time.
that's
I'll never
brilliant,
went.
isn't it? That is brilliant. That is
Yeah,
absolutely
yeah.
fantastic. I mean, singles is obviously easier. I follow Hans Vertingas, and he's involved with as you say, a match coach, obviously a very good player, and he's bringing on developing the younger the singles players. And
Yeah.
I was just always interested to know about singles and doubles and mix. You never see it. You never see two coaches together. I suppose. I suppose you can't really have that in the tournament. You can't have two coaches on the sideline, can you? I suppose.
Actually, yes.
No, it's amazing, isn't it? What was your? I mean, something you've obviously taken to coaching, but from yourself, from a selfish point of view, have you ever? What's the best you've? What was your favourite event playing?
My favourite event, I suppose I have to say my best event, but if ever I won something, it was usually a mixed doubles.
Mixed doubles.
One of the questions you asked, the first tournament I ever won was the Edinburgh Churches mixed doubles B section.
Really?
Which meant, yes. And I thought I was a great player.
Yes.
So I went out to a match on Monday night and I played absolute rubbish because I thought you try to start from where you finish. You finish on a high, and the next day you got to start again.
And who's your partner? Do you remember?
Yeah, a lady who's Elma Christie.
Uh-huh.
This not all the time. That was one of them. But Elma Christie became my partner. She actually taught at the school next to Firhill when it was at Oxgangs.
Really?
We'll not talk about the Stango brothers sometime because they came. We played. She's about 10 years older than me and still going, I believe. Didn't get a Christmas card this year, which is
Really?
worrying. But yeah, we played a little pair, and that was possibly having that regular partner actually made us more successful. Obviously.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. Getting to know some, and how often I was talking to Alan Evans yesterday, and he played with Carolyn Young for he said reckon about 15 years, and it's amazing. You know, you just know where the other's going to go. You know what strengths you've got, but equally, it's
Right.
so easy and mixed to get frustrated. You know, with either them normally with me, more than the other way around. But yeah, to find a partner that you gel with.
Carolyn's a very good player and one who's kept on going when others her age who were internationals, she was just short of international standards as a junior.
Who's that?
Carolyn Young.
Oh yeah,
Carolyn Young, she is, yeah.
Did you coach Carolyn?
Yeah, I did. We haven't quite got to that stage yet.
Yeah, that's amazing. I was quite interested in that subject about. I was talking to Bob yesterday about developing and junior players coming through and getting to the age where I just sometimes I don't know what you think about this that it's quite frustrating when you see juniors coming up and they just get to seem there's a lot of attention kind of played on juniors to 13, 14, 15, and then as soon as there's a perception that they're not going to go any further, it sometimes feels like they go by the wayside. And there's so many times I see it in my life. I've seen people who have been so good and they've fallen out of love with the sport at an age when they realise they're not going to be national, and then they just drop off the radar completely for about roughly 10 years. Nearly, you could time it. And then at about 27, they suddenly realise what they used to love about it and come back to clubs again, which is great. But I just feel that I feel that sometimes that there's an age group missing. There should be a 17 to 21 or something of that kind, and more structured development past teenage. I just get the feeling. How do you feel about that?
I've got a lot of feelings about that. You're absolutely right. I mean, the people I say like Carolyn, another lady you might know, Lisa Campbell. Lisa, of course, she is now.
Yes, I know. And it's shame about her dad. That was terrible. Yeah.
That was terrible. Yeah. But I coached him and I coached Lisa as well, and they were both just short of making an international team as a junior, and they kept playing.
I've actually got a photograph of myself with a black eye. I've actually got a photograph of myself. I've actually got a photograph of myself with a black eye, and Lisa Campbell hit me with a shuttle, and I've got an absolute shiner. I came away from the club the following morning. I woke up, my eye was black, and I posted it. I've actually got that picture somewhere. Yeah, she's a really nice player, actually, really good player. Yeah, and Carolyn and Lisa played together, coached with you together.
Oh, there were different age groups, but they were I maybe could go back a wee bit just to where I was with the school situation. Actually,
you still there?
I went to, and the university club was just that you talked about phenomenal players as far as I could see.
Yes,
they were just fantastic players.
Yeah,
and I let them get abuse because they were on a different level. Yes. I learned, and there was one guy who came along.
Yeah. You still am losing your audio now.
4. Broad, curly hair, fantastic at the front. The Per Valsu. You can Google him too.
What was his name?
And that guy inspired me.
What was his name?
Valsu, W-A-L Per, P-E-R, W-A-L-S-O-E. Came from Copenhagen.
All right.
He got the final of this of a
Did you say W-A-L-S-O-E?
Yes. Yeah.
And was that his first name or surname?
That's his surname. Per, his first name. So he was just, yeah.
So what is that? Kerr Walso?
Per. Per, as in Peter.
Kerr.
Per. P for Peter.
Per, did you say?
Yeah.
Per Walso. Okay.
Also.
And he was from Denmark?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he stayed in Scotland for 1 year.
Right.
Got the final of one of the big tournaments, then flew back to Copenhagen to play for his club on the Saturday.
What year was that?
64, probably.
Kerr Walso. I'll Google that name for sure. Okay, I'm going to move on to current. We're on 26 minutes, so I'm moving on swiftly. What clubs do you play now, and how often do you play?
I don't actually play at all. In the last year, I hadn't had a chance to.
No,
I played at Nomads until fairly recently, but I was getting a bit short adrift, just in terms of movement. So I decided I better not get in the road too much there. I've often played it with adults and evening classes, and at my coaching, I played at other clubs. I played at North Morningside for many years past when it was actually a church club.
Yeah, I played there too. I played there on Nomads.
Yeah, I played in North Morningside. I played in their team. Church's team at the time. So, and basically that was it. There were other big clubs in Lothian. There was Lothian, as it was called, and there was Western, and Nomads, and there was another club called St Roch's that was quite good. But they were the big clubs, and when you wanted to be good, you went to one of them.
Yeah. So the clubs that you play. So you don't play at any club now. Nomads was the last one. Or was it the last one? Because I've been there for a few years. I've never seen you there ever. You must have played that. Do you just play social with it when you? Do you still coach as well?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yes, I can say yes, but obviously I'm not doing it at the moment. I'm actually
obviously no. I'm talking generally, of course.
Yeah, that's right. Obviously, yeah. So I'm actually coaching at George Watson's school.
Oh yeah.
But not at the moment. Yeah, and I was coaching.
And what do you think
Western
about?
Hills I did for.
Can I ask you what you think about the number of people coming to play badminton now? When you make it a voluntary thing, how many kids do you get now? Is it obviously over the years you've seen it change and probably come and go? How do you feel about it now?
Kids have got a lot more things to do these days.
Yes.
Some of them are electronic, some of them are other sport. So not so many kids playing, perhaps playing so shame, but we get loads of them in a school situation.
Yes.
Belongs, and some take to it, and some do go to something else.
Yes.
And I've always had really, my main time was at Firhill. For about 27 years I was there, and I really built up a good going club there. Lots of players came through that. And then when I retired from teaching, which I did in 1995, I got this part-time job at Watson's to do the badminton.
Douglas, what did you teach?
English, right?
And you run the badminton club. That was straight from school, was it? Straight from like 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock or something?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
That's good. And and have you got children now?
Yeah, I have. There's Emma, who's 45, and there's Eric, who's, just make sure I got 42.
What was your son called?
Eric
and Emma. Good. Why did you choose those names? Is there any relevance? There must be a badminton reference in there somewhere, is there not?
Really, except for being I suppose they're Danish kind of names. I've always been very fond of Danish badminton players. Fantastic. Yeah. I love watching Danish players.
Me too. Yeah. They're so tall.
And they both have kind of a Nordic Danish kind of feeling. Also, that's basically it.
Yeah, good. Family. So, and did either of them play badminton?
Oh yeah, they both. I'm very pleased, very happy to say they played a lot of badminton. I picked it, got them going earlier. I mean, just to pinpoint one thing, Eric was a national doubles champion
Was he?
with Peter Hardy, under 14. You know Peter Hardy.
Oh, I know Peter Hardy, senior, obviously.
Eric was his partner under 14, and they won the national
Really?
doubles. Yeah, and he played international that year as well.
Did
And
he really?
Emma played international schools as well, and also European junior. That later
So
on.
what was
So
that? What was that? What was Emma?
she was the European. She played in the European junior team in 19
Did
whatever.
she? Wow.
Yeah, that's yes.
So Eric, what age did Eric play until, or does he still play now as well?
He injured his shoulder
No,
and had
really.
to. He won the mixed the evening tournament mixed with Carlin Young one time.
Did he?
He was quite a good player. Well, probably
And
at
what
the
club
top
did
level.
he play in, Eric, Douglas?
He did play for Scottish universities as well.
Did he? What club did he go to?
Nomads.
Oh, did he? Really?
Nomads. Yeah, they
Wow.
both played Nomads. Emma went to Aberdeen for university, and then she went to Glasgow, and she mixed in with a lot of the Glasgow people when she was playing there.
Yeah.
She's back home now, and she doesn't play at the moment, but maybe they still enjoy the game. They're encouraging
Oh,
their
she'll need
kids.
to get back to club, get back to Nomads or North Morningside when we get back. Definitely.
Yeah,
That'll be great to see her see her on a court. Absolutely. So, what's your favourite event now? Partner, competitor? Do you have a favourite partner, competitor? Yeah. Who was the last person you know?
doubles.
Mhm. Do you play in the veterans tour? Do you ever play any veterans tournaments, or have you?
I played in them a lot. If you ask me why I gave up, it's because I got to over 65 and didn't have an over 70s age group. So I felt I'm just not fast enough there. My galling thing is I actually was runner up in the mixed 3 times Scottish national 3 times runner up 3 times. I can think of 2 of them particularly. Still sore points the way I lost these, but never mind. It was good to get a little silver plate.
And who was your
That
partner
was
in that?
that's my peak. Of course, a lot of players drop off.
Who was your partner?
It was goodness me.
Are you there? Can you hear me?
It was someone from the West that I got put together with as a
Oh,
roving
really?
entry one time.
Love that. I love that about badminton. You can go to a
I'm not
tournament and
feeling awfully well.
you can say I don't have a partner, and you get thrown in with somebody, and you
No,
think,
that's not worth it. And she died a few
oh, that's a shame.
months.
And when can I ask you? So, I'm losing, and I'm coming to the end of our time.
So
So, do you feel as competitive now? How do you feel about competition yourself when you play?
yeah,
Can you hear me?
I, I'm not.
I'm losing you.
I think that badminton is essentially competitive. It's interactive.
Yeah, yeah,
So you have to give it
yes.
that.
I'm losing you. Can you hear me?
Going for the 15. Just get a point, and just feel that as the goal
Yes.
rather than so it gave you it kept you concentrating on what you're actually trying to do on a competitive situation. But club badminton's wonderful, I think, for the social side of it, and the chance you have to play relaxed badminton. That was probably what I preferred.
Was it? Yeah, when it wasn't so competitive.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I like to be competitive, but as I say, it's you can't all be winners.
No,
Not all the
that's
time. Anyway.
exactly right. And so the final question is, what is it you feel in all of the years that you've done? There's so many sports out there that I don't know if I know you've obviously played some tennis, you've played badminton, and you've maybe done other things. What is it that I mean, I find it amazing that in all of your 77 years, from 14, so what's that? 63 years, year in, year out, you've actually played badminton. I stopped for a break for about 10 years when I was bad. I smoked and I got on really unhealthy and I didn't play at all. And I came back to it, but probably in my 30s. But I'm interested to know what you think about why did you choose badminton?
partly it was opportunity, of course, but also I realised I love the shuttlecock.
Yeah,
What you can do with it, the touch, the variation to things. It's almost artistic. And I've
definitely.
never been a great believer in the big bang school of badminton. Yeah, you have to have the smash, but it's what you do to set it up that counts. Really, it's you can always tell the best players below the net. I say above the net, anyone can be a good player.
Yeah,
So
isn't it
it's a
amazing?
touch play, deception, net play, that kind of thing. That's what I loved about it. And I play tennis rather the same way. I play tennis still, and I play it like a badminton player, which is quite
Tactical,
frustrating for some people.
tactical. Is that what you'd say?
Different shots, just different shots. Not just as I feel in badminton, there's more variety than there is in the average tennis rally. Tennis is often
What I'm aware of when I play tennis is the court's massive.
yeah, but yeah, you've got a long way a long time to get to the ball.
Yeah, I know, I know. I struggle. I try and apply the same speeds in badminton to tennis, and I normally always hit the ball too soon. And I normally I find I struggle to get topspin on it, but I'm trying to learn that. Since lockdown, I've just taken to tennis really. But I don't know. I do love my badminton, the speed, and I actually really like playing tennis at the net, just in the front in the
Yeah,
service line, and just literally volley on volley on volley in tennis. I quite like that.
badminton players overheads and volleys. That's badminton's all overheads and volleys after all.
That's exactly
Everything's a
right.
volley in badminton. So you a much more it's easier to be a volleyer than a baseline player. In fact,
Definitely. And
in
who do you think?
badminton.
Who is your favorite? You obviously watch a lot of badminton on TV and YouTube and things like that. Probably not TV because you don't get it, but on YouTube and things. Who's your favorite player? Do you think currently? Do you have one?
I was my favourite player,
Who's your favorite player of all time? There's a question.
but Peter Gerda, Danish player. Well, that's a difficult one. I think I'd have to say Lynn, probably the greatest player of all time.
Who was that?
Colin Campbell talked about him.
Who was
Rudy
that?
Hartono.
Sorry, I couldn't hear that.
Rudy Hartono, Indonesian.
Rudy Hodono, right? Okay.
Rudy Hartono.
In all of your
Rudy
years,
Hartono.
in all of the years of badminton, that's
Right.
you would say he's the best you've ever.
Hartono, yeah.
In all of those years.
Martin
Hear that?
Peter Gerda, for his touch and deception. Lovely player.
Yeah, I'll Google. We'll do some googling now. That's good. That's it. Thank you very much, Douglas.
I saw
Unfortunately, I lost a lot of video there. I've got a blank screen, but it's okay. The main thing was hearing you.
a 13-year-old in the European.
Well, really.
Are you still with me?
I can still hear you only just. So we'll say goodbye just now while
Okay.
I've still got you. I'll say goodbye. But thank you, Douglas.
Right.
Can you hear me?
Okay. Okay.
Thanks very much. We'll speak again soon. I really appreciate
Thank you for having
time.
me.
Speak soon. Take care.
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, you can hear me now. Good. I'll say goodbye now because we're out of time.
Yes. Thank you.
Thanks very much for your time.
Good luck.
Have a good afternoon.